Hi, everybody. Welcome to the QB School. I am JT O'Sullivan. Today, Daniel Jones, Week 7, big win on the road versus a good Chargers team, locked in, fired up. Let's get it going. Welcome to the QB School. Before we dive into the video, a quick reminder about the Quarterback School Patreon community. This group is the foundation, the bedrock of the channel. Not only is it a great, inexpensive way to support the channel, but you get even more Quarterback School content. So hop over there, join, become a member. I appreciate your support. As for this video, let's get into it. Daniel Jones, the Colts, keep it rolling. Right here, a little naked keeper off the old GY counter, G-sniff counter. I love this design. I absolutely love it. And I'll talk about why here from the end zone, because when you get Warren coming through there on that quote unquote tray block and then out the front door with the flat, it's just a thing of beauty. It's the combination of the run and the pass. Okay, so the first thing you should know, and if you're listened to the channel or watched the channel before, you're going to probably know what I'm going to say. From a condensed formation, anytime we get into this naked keeper world, there's almost always something in the flat, something in the over, and from a condensed formation, something to the corner. Okay, so how they get there matters when it comes to design. So the front side to the corner, the back side to the over, and then how we get here to the flat. The traditional way to go would be to secure the edge on this bang late flat. He becomes the outlet, and then we would sneak or slide flat this thing across this way. The reason I love this version is because of what we ask right here from Warren. Okay, he's going to be on quote unquote a tray block. So this is supposed to look like counter. So there's the kick, there's the wrap. We're going to fake counter back this way. Okay, on that play in that run world, if he's blocking down here, he would be blocking down, gap down, all the way back to this backer. So it'd be this like tray block. So as he goes on the same action, now he slips out into the flat. So we still get the same distribution that we're used to. Nothing changes for the quarterback read, but how we get there is mirrored perfectly to counter. And really, you don't see enough counter naked, in my opinion. You see a decent amount of it at lower levels, specifically GT stuff, but this is a beautiful job. And then it's a great job of punt return right on the boundary. Everybody's fired up except the Bears fans, right? I mean, it's just one of those things where this dude is a good player. Now watch that front side gap down look. Okay, now at some point, maybe a little bonus edition at the end, we'll talk about some of the blocking up front here. But this is counter to our left. It's supposed to look like counter. So everything is gap down to the play side. So you got to think as we're selling this, that's what it looks like to these linebackers. You think they're really smart reading uncovered offensive linemen. So they're thinking, oh, I'm going to go run and fit this thing, and then we come out the front door of this naked with nobody out here. So it's just a beautiful job of mirroring the front side run game to the front side of the keeper. I mean, I love it. I love it. Outstanding ball. Next one here. For being such a good day offensively, such a big win on the road versus probably a pretty good team, there were a few missed opportunities. Right here, second and medium, we're going to rip what I'm used to calling like a wrap in-ish, even if this might be more true glance or drift. There's a lot to like here. The actual execution, the accuracy, not quite there, but I love the line of scrimmage communication. They end up blocking it up in a 5-person pass pro. We get all the way out to 3 on the right. It's just a really nice job of being blocked up, and then we just barely miss the throw. So again, what I'm used to calling a wrap in, you can really classify it as just an in breaker in that intermediate lane. We're going to catch middle field closed, and we're going to have this from a condensed formation in here with some either variation of a pivot or gather or spot, whatever you want to say down here. And really the thing you love defensively here is we have outside leverage on that in breaker. So we have the leverage we want to get in here. And then as long as this second level drives on that tight end, there's going to be a big window in the middle of the field as long as you get it up and down before the middle field player. So we get it blocked up, which is probably the best part of this, and then we just miss the hookup. So, you know, you'll sometimes hear me say, I love a good in right down the hash. This is that throw. We just miss it a little inside the hash. So it's there. The structure of it is outstanding. If you're looking from an offensive design standpoint, this is outstanding. Watch the communication. So from this front, okay, just go through the mental gymnastics here. We have 5 people blocking. From this front, you have to make the decision, who are the 5 most dangerous? There's 7 people, quote unquote, in the box. So they end up being able to go all the way out here. Now, are they just sliding to the right and they fall into this? Maybe. But if that's the case, it's just another example of outstanding line play from the Indianapolis. So I love the command from Jones. Everybody looks like they're on the same page, except the tight end. He didn't know what the hell he's doing. Just run a hitch. And we just barely missed that throw. And again, the one thing I will say is if they're bringing 5 and we have 5 blocking, you're going to have 5 one-on-one blocks. 5 one-on-one blocks in the league is not a recipe for holding on to the ball. So you got to get the ball out quickly. We just barely miss it. Next one here, touchdown pass. This is a really nice job here. And there's a number of different things that I want to talk about. I absolutely love the subtle design of what side the back is on here with what I'm used to calling same side ball handling. This is a version of what I would classify as zone read escort, where you have that slice action coming at the C-gap player 45 on our left here. He's the read. He goes under, you pull it. He goes over, you keep it. And instead of running it, we are able to throw it in. So it's spread triple, but with the extra little bonus, the little flavor is that the back is on the opposite side of the read. Okay, now that's a lot of word salad, word vomit to say that I'll draw it up here post shift. And I didn't even talk about the shift and the motion. So at the snap, it's zone read for the quarterback. So that's who we're reading. We're going to have this slice action. And again, I'm used to calling this that escort action. So as he comes across, if this C-gap defender goes under this player, we are then going to keep it. Okay, so we've got the ability to keep it, get on the edge. We can run it ourselves or pitch it. That's the spread triple element, right? Here's the same side ball handling action. So traditionally, the back is over here. So the defense can get a read, or they're going to have some fancy RPO defense to be able to offset where the back is. Well, now we're going to do same side. So the ball handling is a little different from Daniel Jones. He has to turn this way. So he's going to turn to his left, but read to his right. That's the little nuance. That's the detail. That's the time, earmuffs me here, but that's the kind of shit I'm here for. I like this kind of party. And they do this a few times in this game. Creates a wide ass open, walk-in touchdown. Just a thing of beauty on 4th down. Got to have it. So again, pre-snap, multiple movements, shift. Go from 3x1 to 2x2. Motion back to 3x1. At the snap, ball handling. Look at him turn that way, but he's looking at 45. Let's go. Defensive coordinators are nervous everywhere watching this. Next one here, a beautiful deep angle corner down here to the bottom of the screen to the slot number 2. Now, this coverage to me, I'm used to calling 3 backer. It's a big time throw down the field. I really, really love the aggressiveness that the Colts are ripping these balls down the field for. Now, they don't hit every single one. They hit this one on 3rd and forever, and this is a big time play. But this is the perfect call versus a super aggressive 3 deep corner who just loses his mind and drives the curl. But if you look at the structure of this thing, it's a great job. It's 3rd and forever, y'all. We got to go all the way to the 43 plus. We're going to run deep curl with this, what I'm used to calling like an angle, not a traditional, a traditional corner to me would be more 10 yards, nod, come out at like 25. This is more angly. So you get this, he's going inside and probably sets it deep, maybe to the front or back pylon. You get this deep curl, you get some sort of check down in the flat. And then the coverage structure here, he's playing a 3rd, most likely. He's dropping down, playing that curl hook, and then we're buzzing out to the flat. So you get this inverted 3rd side with a little funky, where that backer is. And the reason they do this with that backer dropping in from the ceiling is that they're trying to take away all those in breakers. But watch this corner at the bottom. So as soon as he drives the curl, boom, got him. It's a wrap. So as soon as you see this corner right there, got him. And it's a perfect throw. It's a perfect throw, right? It's right down his stem, right down his alignment right where he's running right down his line. That's beautiful. It really is. That's big time third down offense. Now, again, whatever the hell that corner's doing is sure making it easy or easier than it probably should be. But this is a beautiful throw. Again, for all you pass pro fans out there, don't want the car crash friendly fire there. You love that kind of chip, right? Anytime your back can give you 2 for 1 on a chip, that's my kind of party. Great base, great patience, beautiful throw, dot, big hookup. Next one here, touchdown pass to the number 2, Warren. This is putting the Chargers defense in a real tough spot. I can't imagine this is what they wanted to do coverage-wise. You're asking someone standing on the line of scrimmage to turn and run with a tight end running right to the middle of the field open is just brutal from the opposite side of the ball. It's a great job from Daniel Jones seeing it. It's a beautiful call, but this is very difficult. And again, I don't know if it's a coverage bust per se, because it looks like they're doing different things up here as far as how they match to these things. But when we come up and run to the middle of the field, should probably use a different color. When we come up and run to the middle of the field here, we're asking this linebacker type from the opposite side of the ball to get here and take this away. So it looks like these guys are trying to like zone this thing or bracket it off. These guys are playing more matchy to me up top. And so we just have a breakdown, and it's just a beautiful job from the Colts attacking that area of the field. I mean, if you were to look at the snap and say, where should we attack the middle of the field? Well, yeah, right on the RG. Let's go right after the right guard. Got him. So again, see how it plays out up top. Now it's not the same route distribution, but doesn't that look more matchy, manny than whatever this is down here? You got to imagine that the safety is probably supposed to stay over the vertical number 2 there. That's tough. Next one here, another pushing it deep opportunity. This to me is another one of those pylons or deep flag throws. Now we just run out of real estate here. I don't necessarily think this is a terrible throw. I will say I don't think this throw is often thrown versus this specific coverage. And the reason that it's on here is because, not that it's a terrible throw or bad decision per se, but I just love the fact that they're being so aggressive down the field. So again, to me, what I'm used to calling this deeper flag or pylon route, it's usually set. So the landmark for this as you come out of it would usually be a pylon. So super deep, especially when it's paired with like a traditional sail or corner. So you get some iteration of like a flood here. And when I say it's not traditionally thrown versus this coverage, to me, this is a half field player. This is a corner, cloud corner. So really, you're probably most often trying to high-low this cloud corner. Now, it's there for him to kind of bend this thing out. If he throws it inbounds, maybe you do hook this thing up. I would say if you're Daniel Jones, you would probably more say, hey, let's get to the backside here on whatever's available on the backside. And you probably like this in route as opposed to throwing this thing out of bounds. But again, you've got to appreciate, you really do have to appreciate when you turn on the film, they're pushing the ball down the field. They're being aggressive. So again, I see what he sees here as far as their space over here. It feels condensed, with how they're doing it. I think you could make the argument that you could, flip it out to the flat potentially, but probably most likely get back to this backside end. And again, super easy, borderline a week later to tell the guy who's playing, at an MVP level where to go with the ball. But we just missed another big shot there. Next one here, another 3rd and long situation. This time the Chargers get us. What ends up being what I would classify as 2 on the back, meaning that we're in a hot situation here most likely. Daniel Jones looks like he just doesn't have a hot answer. Now he's got the wiggle to get out of it originally, but he's going to end up taking a hit, having to throw it away, and we're punting. So there's a lot going on here. This is what I would classify as a 3rd down exotic NFL blitz. Okay, there's a few different things you could potentially do here. But the good thing about it is Daniel Jones has got a little wiggle to him. He can run it still. He can move a little bit. He's able to avoid the sack, throw the ball away, and live to fight another day. The first thing here is to just notice what's going on with the pre-snap movement. Okay, so from the jump here, we're going to try to present empty. Okay, when you present empty, you're really trying to figure out what the hell are they doing with the running back out here. So is this a corner? Is this a safety? Is this a linebacker? How are they matching this up? So when we shift back here, let's go to school on what they do with our shift. Because if the people at the front don't move, it's probably either a pressure or a run out zone. Okay, so to me here, that's a corner. They push in a DB type. To me, I'm thinking zone. When people are at the line of scrimmage like that, I'm thinking, oh, this is going to be zone pressure. Those are zone pressure indicators. Okay, now it's super easy with a clicker and a marker to notice those things. Now, the other part about this is this 6-person protection or 7-person protection? Because usually in 3rd and long situations, when there's a tight end or back up in these sniffer positions, these are chip and go situations. So it's not true. I would classify this as not true 7-person protection. So if we're in 6-person protection, and again, you might think, what the hell are we talking so much about protection? Protection is tethered to the quarterback having an opportunity to play at a high level. So if they have 3 over here and 4 over here potentially, and we only have 6, we've got a hot situation. Okay? That's the deal. You've got to be able to count, and really they've got 8-ish, 7.5-ish potential blitzers. So when the center is going to the right, so these 3 are taking care of these 3. The back is coming across, okay? And you really want the bigs down here to block the guys who are the pass rushers traditionally. So you'll get the back going 1 to 2 on a duel. If both of these people blitz, technically you're hot. And so you would need, most likely, one of these players to give us some sort of hot route or look and run. That just doesn't happen. So they got you. If this is the scheme we're going to roll with, they got you. Now, there's a lot of things you could do to help the scheme here. But it's one of those things where we don't have where do you want him to throw the hot down here? Nobody's looking. People, they're allergic to hot on this play. There's no hot answer. Now, again, is the tight end supposed to block somebody? Is the tight end supposed to shift into the backfield and block somebody? Is it really 7-person protection? Are we not really hot? Only those guys know for sure. We don't know. I will tell you that 3rd down in the NFL, exotic shit you're going to see. You don't love seeing a free runner come like this in what I would classify as the B gap. And that's a bad feeling. That's a bad feeling. And you might be like, well, why doesn't the left tackle block him? Why doesn't the tight end stay? Right? These guys aren't doing whatever the hell they want. This isn't recess. They've all got jobs. They've all got responsibilities on every pass pro. They just got us. We're luckily able to throw it away and punt. So right on cue for an example of that double chip protection. So this is 1st down, but this idea of the sniffer and the back lined up in these kind of like pseudo wing alignments or sniffer, getting the chip help to take a shot down the field is what I'm talking about as far as the chip element of this. Now, to me here, you could probably classify this as potentially a turnover-worthy throw. I mean, it goes through the DB's hands. I personally love the decision. I think this is a quarters beater. Many people will call this mills. It's basically a big post and an in. And what you're trying to do is capture the inside safety with that vertical of number 2. And again, I love what they're doing, taking shots down the field. So again, watching the coverage up top, okay, you're going to run that big boy post from like a pseudo stack, right? Like, I mean, these guys are tight. What does that do? That usually makes the corner outside leverage of the post. That's what we want from the construction of the formation. Then we're going to try to capture this inside safety by running this in at him. So we're trying to get this vertical number 2 where this safety, quarter safety, comes down. Once he settles his feet or he can't make a play on this big post, we want to let it rip. And my drawing is actually not that good. You want to keep that thing usually real skinny, almost like an inside vertical. And we just don't hook up the pass. But everything else is there. The integrity of this play is awesome. And again, this safety is getting crazy depth. He really, just that settle, just that turn, and it's on. Got him. He can't make a play on that post. One-on-one with the leverage we want. Probably slightly underthrown. Maybe a little foot contact down there. Can't time our jump, make it happen. But again, when you turn on the film and you see the design, the offensive architecture, the aggressiveness, the shots, the level that Daniel Jones is playing at, the pocket movement, the play at the line of scrimmage. I love it. Next one here, another kind of wrappy play down here to the bottom. We're going to hit the number 1 on this little in-breaker. Now, I just said on the last play with the Mills that safety was deep. So versus a traditional quarters kind of umbrella shell coverage, whatever you want to say, I would say I don't love quote-unquote wrap ins. Now, this isn't necessarily a traditional wrap in, but this is very much kind of quarters match type defense with deeper safeties. So the Chargers are just playing these safeties a little bit deeper than the traditional quarter safety. So if it's a traditional quarter safety, to me, they're kind of a little tighter at the start, and then they might be kind of keeping their backward movement tighter based on the route distribution of what's going on in front of them. Once we get this, what I'm used to calling like this pivot gather in this quote unquote in-breaker wrap, now it happens a little bit faster, almost slanty like. So just the construction of this is outstanding. Once this defender right here matches to the tight end, this is easy pitch and catch because of the depth of this safety. So there's just so much detail going on with how the Indianapolis Colts are constructing these plays that it just makes Daniel Jones, I mean, he's throwing to wide open guys there. There's no one around us for 5 yards. It's just a beautiful job of taking advantage of what the defense has given you and then being able to execute it. And they're not executing every single one. That's what I think makes the play calling even more impressive. There are opportunities for them with big plays. There are opportunities that we missed earlier in the red zone, but you can see the intent, right? You can see how they're trying to call multiple plays at the line of scrimmage, getting to the play that they want, attacking the middle of the field versus open. It's a thing of beauty. Another quote-unquote quarters beater, we're going to hit the deep in up top. Now, this has the bones of dagger. It's not dagger because the number 2 is running a deep corner or flag, but it plays out just like dagger. And this kind of flat curl defender gets sucked up by the shallow coming from our right to left. Little play action fake, great pass protection, and we're able to rip a big chunk in the middle of the field again. I mean, it's just that continue to do the same thing, beating the same coverage structure, thing of beauty. So again, traditional dagger to me is more clear with an in, and then we usually get a shallow coming across like that. They run, instead of the clear post, they run a true kind of flag pylon corner out there. So as soon as this thing goes usually like 8 to 10 yards, so as soon as you get this alignment to quote unquote mini quarters defenses, it's essentially 0. Like he's got him. So once we come up and we run to the corner, that safety is out of there. Once we run up and come up to the deep in, that corner is outside leverage and we're running an in-breaker. So you got that in-breaker. Then all we really have to worry about is what is this flat defender doing? Well, that flat defender, I prefer them to get hands-on and reroute the number 2. If he doesn't, he's going to keep getting depth, get to his landmark. Well, guess what? We've got someone coming down here on the shallow. So as soon as he gets sucked up at all, it's going to create this big old void for us to rip that deep in. So again, first thing here is just watch what the route distribution does to the corner and the safety up top. So it looks like quarters. Now it's going to play out like 0. Now watch the shallow come from the bottom to the top, pull the flat defender, whoop, right there. Now we got the big old in throw. And again, it's a great base. It's a perfect throw from Daniel Jones. I think that's probably the thing I haven't done a good enough job talking about yet in this video. Daniel Jones playing at a super high level, super efficient, mechanically sound, not a lot of wasted movement, ball out on time, great rhythm. That's a dot. Halftime, you dig the channel and you haven't already, please like, subscribe, hit the bell, get the notifications. I really do appreciate you subscribing to the channel. It means a lot to me, so thank you for taking the time. Again, the Quarterback School Patreon community, you know about it. Join, become a member, get even more Quarterback School content. We also have Quarterback School courses. You can find all the courses over at the website, theqbschool.com. Hop over there and enroll. Finally, please make sure to follow me across all the different social media platforms. I really do appreciate your support. As for this video, let's get back to it. Next one here, a little 2-point play. We're going to end up getting a nice little pick or rub down here for an easy flat, wide ass open. So the first thing to notice here is that the Chargers just can't get lined up, right? We're running it down their throat. They can't get lined up. You can see the corner on our left side of the screen running to try to get lined up with the bunch nub corners over. He's the one that ends up getting picked. Okay, it's not illegal. Natural pick or rub, defensive gurus. So first here, watch how fast they get lined up out of the huddle. So they're running, and watch what the defense has to do. They can't get lined up. That's the first thing. So now we get over here, we're going to end up getting the quote unquote, we'll call it a sit, and we'll call this an in. Really, these are two moving picks. And we've got the defenders who are locking them up, going with them as well. So this defender, who's man-to-man on the number 3, we're just coming out here throwing a nice easy flat. He's got to sort through 4 people. So he's got to make sense, get all of that and tackle us before we get in the end zone. It's just tough duty. Andy gets over there late. He's late to the party. The communication's probably not quite as good. You can see his eyes. He's putting his mouthpiece in. He doesn't know what the hell he's doing. Got him. That's a wrap. Hell yeah. Next one here, another beautiful offensive design here. We're going to go a naked keeper to the bottom. You know, normally in gun, naked keeper is not that great, but I love the same side ball handling. So it's the subtle, where's the back? Okay, where's the back? He's to the side of the run fake. Normally he would be on our right here if we're nakeding to our right. So we're same side ball handling. And okay, that's the first part to notice that. Right, we already seen we've done some of those RPOs doing this kind of ball handling. Then watch the tight end and wide receiver to the right with the insert release. So just that those subtle changes put a lot of stress on the defense to sort out all those different things. Instead, we get Warner, punt return right again. Easy manufactured touches to our round 1 tight end. Sounds like a good idea. So I just love, I can't tell you how much I love the same side ball handling. So again, traditionally it's over here. Okay, now what does that do? Where the back is aligned are massive keys in modern multiple offenses about how these players play. So if the back's over here, you're thinking, oh, I might get zone read. I might have to surf this. I might have, who's my responsibility? Do I have the back? Do I have the tight end? If you're away from the back, traditionally you're not thinking about that. You're thinking, I've got to fit this. I'm going to blow this gap up. I'm going to do whatever my responsibility is for this specific front or stunt. So they're just playing on the defensive tells, the defensive cues, and they're really going against it. It's a thing of beauty. You actually wonder why you don't see more of it, if I'm being honest with you. Next one here, just a thing of beauty up top. We get some with the play action comeback. Again, beautiful rhythm, timing, dot, anticipation, accuracy. I mean, this is all of the above, y'all. This is just elite quarterbacking. Now, again, I like, there are little subtle design elements that I really love. Also, obviously, love the pass protection is elite, but this is a beautiful quarterbacking. So first thing here to just notice is this is a traditional tightish split, squeeze-ish split. Normal comebacks would be from a traditional whatever +2 alignment from the numbers or whatever the normal split is. The other thing to pay attention to is here is as we get up to this landmark, you'll hear me say all the time, if the corner is on top, but he's essentially bailing, so he's looking in at the quarterback, you have anything you want outside the numbers as long as you're on time. Okay, so the technique of the corner here plays an issue as well. So tight split, play action, corner technique, and then the timing is just elite. World-class anticipation. He pats that thing right there. He's throwing it. Again, let's see if I go back so you can see the corner technique. See the corner technique up there? Here's the anticipation. He taps it. We're nowhere near out of our break yet. Right? We're coming out of this break. Got the corner looking in this way, bailing. He's going to have to baseball turn out of this thing. And we're playing with, yo, let's go. Let it wash over you, Daniel Jones truthers. Everybody knew. Joking. Pretty damn special, though. Pretty damn awesome. That's a big-time ball. Good for him. Dot. Big-time hookup. Again, the other thing I've tried to allude to a few times now is just playing with a really nice bass and rhythm. These things are making sense. You can see it all tied together. Play action, hitch, ball out, right? No heel click, no wasted movement. Aligned to his left, all his cleats in the ground. Super balanced, ripping that thing. It's awesome. Next one here. This is that counter naked again. The first play we drew up in this video. Talked about how great it was to get Warner going here in the flat across off that what looks like that tray block. Well, this time this looks like a turnover worthy throw to the over. Now, again, the decision to throw this and the throw, certainly on the quarterback. Okay, certainly could be an interception if Longhair went with both hands here. Okay, at minimum, pass defended. Now, we talked already about how this block, why I love this block, what looks like we're running counter this way with this quote unquote kick and wrap back this way. You get the back going this way, put significant stress on the defense. Well, this is a different look than the original look. So now we've got this edge player who's not rushing. He's already out there. So when we have this, again, you remember the distribution, right? Someone to the corner, someone to the over, someone to the flat. Well, y'all, this guy's a rookie, okay? He doesn't know everything yet, okay? When you come across on this flat, if there's somebody out there in the flat, you're not Travis Kelce. You can't just create shit and go run like a pseudo over, because when you do that, you now are covering your own guy on the over. This should be an easy completion to the over, but because Warner does his own thing on the flat, he covers up the over. So the spacing is all jacked up. So watch this thing sort itself out down here to the bottom. Get over there and get to the flat. So if this guy's in the flat, you can bluff him and then get to the flat, because you need to open this thing up for the over. And again, because he gets depth on his flat, now he covers the over and we're late to the over, and now the guy can make a play on it. So again, we can all say, oh, this is a turnover-worthy-ish throw. It's late. It's a bad decision. All of the above. It is. And the route distribution is funky. So stay in the flat. We'll get it to you earlier. Again, you can see, because of the route distribution, you can see Pierce have to slow himself down. He doesn't want to run to get covered. So he slows his gait. Daniel Jones tries to put it on him, and now it's batted down. Next one here, a 3rd and short. We got to get to the 47 on the offense. We're going to end up throwing a stop route up top to Pierce. This is going to be verse 0 with a free runner right in our face. I think this is an outstanding decision, scheme. We have an answer. We get the ball out. They're over there complaining for, either PI or a hold. I think it's good football all the way around, except for the final little cue of execution. So I just love the fact that they're blitzing us. We have it blocked up. We get the ball out. We give our guy a chance. In the league, you'll really hear me talk about this a decent amount. These kind of stop routes versus press coverage, these are throws that have to be thrown. Like, you have to trust your guy to beat their guy, and really you're trying to make this thing look like a vertical. So you're trying to make him terrified that you're going to run by his bump 0 coverage. Now again, it's 3rd and not very long, so he's probably thinking you're not going to throw a fade. As you get to the top of these things, the secret sauce here is, where is this receiver coming out of it? Is he coming down his stem? Is he hinging out? And then what is the depth? Is it 9 yards? Does it change versus press? Where exactly are we throwing this thing? I think they just have everything locked in except the final execution of this thing. It's one of those things, to me, I just love the process. I love how it's sorted out, the decision, the ball gets out quickly. We just barely missed the throw. It's pretty handsy there. Last one here, really to ice this thing. This is what I'm used to calling a hinge up top. It's 3rd and long, 3rd and 10. They're running what is normally referred to as like a sticks concept down here to the bottom. Everyone run to the sticks, turn around. This again is beautiful anticipation, accuracy, hookup. Essentially the same thing we just did on 3rd and short, this time 3rd and long. Instead of a stop route versus press, this is an off hinge, probably an easier throw and hookup, but doesn't make it easy by any means. And that's to ice the game. Just a thing of beauty. So again, 3rd and long, the communication, the command at the line of scrimmage. We're going to run what I'm used to calling a hinge route, more like 14-ish yards. Then you open inside and hinge out. Down here to the bottom, they're running more of what I'm used to calling like traditional sticks, like run to the sticks and turn around. I prefer it with more hingy out here by the number 1, but it doesn't matter. They didn't ask me. What I love about this read is we're catching closed. We've got off one-on-one, right? Even though it's probably zone. You get that one-on-one out to a certain depth. And again, y'all, let it wash over you. Daniel Jones playing with anticipation, accuracy, decisiveness, letting it rip, closing out games on the road. And he's throwing that thing right there. Right there. Look at it. It's beautiful. It's big time third down ball. It's decent coverage. It's just better offense. So that is a wrap. Daniel Jones, the Colts rolling. Really fun to watch on a number of different levels. From a quarterback perspective, Daniel Jones playing at a really high level. Love the rhythm, the anticipation, a lot of the accuracy, the aggressiveness. He's still got a little movement to his game. He's just playing at a high clip all the way across the board. When you couple that with what they're doing scheme-wise, whether that be mirroring the movements, the play actions, the run game, with some maybe, I didn't even show any RPOs, with the play action and the shots, the manufactured shots, even if you're not hitting all the shots, getting the defense off of you and being able to control the line of scrimmage like they do, this offense is just a blast to watch. It really is. So thank you so much for hanging to the end. I'll see you next time. Have a good one. Little bonus edition, little run game, you know, little RB school. This to me is just a zone to the right with that little slice or split flow action from the sniffer coming back across. Now, I think the thing that would make you sick to your stomach here, if you're a Chargers fan or a defensive guru, is anytime your quote unquote Mike linebacker isn't blocked and doesn't come close to making the tackle, is probably not a good thing, and your safety is just getting blown by. So the first thing here is the split flow action. You can see the tight end coming across, cutting off the backside. When you look at this, it's a beautiful job by the left guard. Now, the left guard obviously has been a dude for a long ass time, but when you're able to run like this, and really whoever has the right A gap is, you know, missing in action, probably because of what they're doing with the movement here pre-snap. But if we were to look at, all right, they've got quote unquote 7 people in the box, right? From a defensive perspective, we're going to slice this thing. Okay, so he's coming across and he's taking whoever shows up in the C gap, which is right here. So how are we going to sort out these 5 players to block 6? So we'll be out here. These 2 will be pushing to the front side backer. We're trying to get this backside block. And then right here, where's he going? You probably want to leave the widest guy. You know, in most worlds here, you know, who's he going to block? So he comes up and he ends up covering the wide guy. This guy, we'll classify him as the Mike, okay? Outside backer just by alignment. I don't care who they are, just by the box look here. This guy's unblocked, untouched. Again, is he fitting here? Is he just jumping around blocks? Whatever he's doing, this is my kind of party right there. That's a hell of a reach block, and that thing is to the house, y'all. To the house. So really nice job. You can see the combo block by the center as well, getting some movement. And then that is just a world-class reach by Nelson. I mean, that's awesome. And again, you know, glad I don't coach linebackers, because that is not my kind of party right there. And then the safety, that's a 2-hand touchdown. Next one here, another touchdown run. This is a thing of beauty here as well. We're in empty. We're going to move the strength, move Warren to the other side. We're going to run power shovel. So this is just handing it off to quote unquote bash. And it's a race to the pylon. So again, I really love the construction of this play. I think of teams like the Ravens and the Chiefs as kind of the prototypical teams that run power shovel at the best, at the highest level. So this is just power read if you're a run guru. So we're going to read this C-gap player. So the line is blocking power. So everybody to the front side is gap down, and then we are pulling or wrapping to the play side inside linebacker. And that's how we're going to block, and then we're going to gap hinge this thing on the back. So he's going to take that and then hinge off. Here is the power shovel part of it. So he's going to be the guy who would quote unquote be the power read runner. From a quarterback perspective, we usually get 2 shuffles. So we're going to have this jet sweep action right here. You get 2 shuffles to read this guy. If he stays inside, if he can't tackle our quote unquote jet sweep, then we just hand it to him and say, go race to the pylon. That's exactly what happens. If he were to get upfield, then we would just come back here, shovel it to Warren, and he gets to run power. Let him eat in between the tackles. So again, let's just watch right here. Make this thing look easy. As soon as he squeezes, right there, it's a wrap. As soon as he squeezes. And again, Nelson doesn't want to block him. He's trying to get around him. Too easy. Give it to him. Good luck beating him to the pylon. Touchdown. One more touchdown round just for fun. This is just gun trap, and it's right into a nickel pressure. And it really shows a number of different things. First of all, it shows that if you're lining up against the left side of the Indianapolis line, you are terrified. So I want you to watch right here. Okay, so I'll let it play and then we'll talk about it. But just watch how terrified this guy is. Influence. I mean, you don't even have to trap him. We're trapping that guy. He trapped himself. He's in a container of chaos right there. That's a nightmare. No mouthpiece. It's a wrap. So what's going on here is we're just running traditional trap. So we're influence up, influence out. We are down, and then we're trying to trap this right here. Okay, now the thing that makes this play even better, and this is a great job by Daniel Jones letting this thing eat, because the quote-unquote star or nickel is blitzing off here. So we get this angle because of the stunt and the pressure. So because we get this angle, these blocks end up being wash downs. So we end up washing everybody down, and that's why it's so easy to just go dink. And again, these safeties have no business tackling in space. They got no chance. So it's a combination of, you know, three technique hell over here with the stunt away. Everybody's washed down. I mean, look at that thing. That is a nightmare, bro. We were in nightmare hell. Great job from Daniel letting that thing eat too, because if you go back and watch the wide down here, technically he has an outlet. So he could raise up and throw a hitch right here if he wanted to. And again, you can see the slot pointing. Watch the pressure, watch the pressure. Well, he's coming from such depth and width, he's never going to get home. Great decision from Daniel. That's just a big... This offense is fun to watch, man. Whether it's the combination of the play action with the runs, the shots down the field, the level of execution, the anticipation, the O-line play. It's awesome film.